A fear can only control you if it has not been explored. What do I mean by that? Well, there are two ways that fear typically presents itself in our life. One, a fear that has not happened yet and we have anxiety towards and has not been explored, or something that happened in the past that we don't want to recreate in the future. And both are not the reality that is happening right now in the present moment. So let's start with number one. The way that fear presents itself when it has not happened yet, something that has never happened before but we're scared about. I like to use metaphors to help understand the meaning of things in our life. So one of the metaphors that I can use, or an example, is when we're traveling, we're going into a place that we have not explored yet. So we can feel really nervous about it. Like, what is it going to be like? Who are we going to meet? Are we going to be safe, etc., etc.? But if we go into the space and we explore the space, oftentimes we realize that there is never any need for fear. And in fact, maybe fear was preventing us from being present to the moment that was actually unfolding. So when we have a fear that is existing in our mind, be an explorer. Ask questions to the fear as if fear is a companion to you. It's like, okay, what are you saying? What are you trying to help me with? What are you trying to prevent? And it's in this space where we can see fear as an ally, and not one that we just listen to point blank, but someone on our counsel. It's like someone is trying to help us. If we can animate fear and make it a part of our counsel, then we can realize that the fear is not actually us. It's just an aspect of us, and we get to decide if we listen to this fear voice or not. One of the other ways that fear typically presents itself is something that happened in the past that we don't want to happen again in the future. And this is a really interesting one because it has to do with the neuroplasticity in our brain. So our brain essentially tries to create shortcuts, so it prevents bad things from happening again in the future. So let's say you walk down a road and it's really scary, and you don't want that to ever happen again where someone may be following you, right? So now in your brain, there's a neural pathway of, hey, don't walk down this scary road. And in many ways, this is wonderful because it's our brain and this space trying to protect us. But if we're not aware that that's actually what's happening, it could prevent us from, one, being present to the moment, and two, recreating the fears that we don't want to happen. That's why subconscious work is so amazing, because it moves the subconscious beliefs, patterns, and thoughts and behaviors into the conscious space where we can decide if we want to continue that pattern or not. So what can we do when fear presents itself? Be an explorer. Sit with the fear as fear on your counsel and look at it as an ally, not an enemy. And with all things in life, get curious around it, see what it's trying to share with you, and be the king or the queen in your own counsel, and you make the choice if fear is good for that moment or not. And if it's not, allow spaciousness to come. Because spaciousness is what creates freshness and new experiences, and ultimately, we want new experiences, especially good experiences. So see fear as an ally, not an enemy, and allow it to be in your counsel, but don't let it run your counsel. You be the king and queen. You be in the center of your life, and you make the decision of how you want life to move forward for you.